Alright, how's everybody doing today? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about something that's quite interesting that I saw. Now, if you don't know, the company that owns UFC is basically called Endeavor. And they have a majority, if not they own all of UFC. And then they own a ton of other things, as you can see. But basically, they're going IPO. So it's basically UFC is now going public, which is quite interesting because UFC has a ton of viewers behind it, multi-billion-dollar revenue like every single year, right? They have like huge fighters, huge names. Now, the crazy thing is that Elon Musk will be on the board of directors in this. So that's actually quite crazy, right? Now, when I looked into this further, basically they tried to IPO in 2019 and they just couldn't. Like, I guess there wasn't that many people interested in buying it, but now, oh man, definitely now with Elon Musk as the board of directors, they're gonna have quite a bit of people, I can tell you, behind it just because of that, right? He probably owns one of the biggest companies in the stock market, or at least of like this year, right? Especially over the last few years in terms of growth. So I would definitely not be too out of the ordinary if now this IPO is pretty popular. So there's no exact date for this IPO, but it's coming pretty soon. I'm going to be talking about the revenue that Endeavor has posted and basically say if I'm buying it or not. Now, right before we jump into it, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by summer, so if you haven't done that already, that would be very appreciated. So help me get monetized on the channel. So if you guys just can click that, that'll be amazing. So when looking closer, right, basically 18-month break before IPOing, and I think like even Donald Trump has ties to this IPO as well. And yeah, they basically scrapped it a few years ago. I don't know. I don't think he has ties to the IPO exactly, but he is close friends, I read somewhere, with the person that's basically in charge of the UFC. Now, Elon Musk is actually a big like UFC fan. I've actually seen him at a lot of games for some reason. So I guess he's a pretty big fan. But here we actually look at the numbers. Tesla founder will be joining the company board of directors, and Endeavor will buy the remaining stake of UFC that they don't own. So basically, Endeavor owns most of UFC, but they want to own like basically everything of the UFC. And I believe Dana White will remain as the president. I'm not sure, but basically Dana White, if you haven't seen, I've seen quite a bit of his interviews, and that guy is a pretty smart guy. Like, he knows how to do business, right? So I definitely like him on there. But basically, it says they will raise 1.7 billion. With a group of private equity. If it doesn't go through, the UFC deal will not be completed. But either way, that's according to their filing. So basically, they had to disclose it, right? Before you IPO, you have to disclose your financials. Not every time, but they did. Endeavor took a $625 million net loss in 2020, and then they made $3.5 billion in 2020, and then 2019 they made 4.7. They made more in 2019, and they lost less. So that's maybe understandable because of COVID. I mean, that's definitely understandable, but yeah, that's not too bad. So they basically, year over year, they not only made less money, they lost more money. So those are like two negative things right there. But obviously, it's COVID. And yeah, challenging as 2020 was, underscored its strength. Yeah, I mean, they didn't take that huge of a hit. You would think no fan revenue, potentially less people watching TV because they can't afford the pay-per-view, stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, they didn't take that big of a hit, right? They went from 4.6 to 3.5. They like 25% downward move. But for like the entertainment industry, that's actually not bad. And yeah, the CEO said in a letter in complete filing, as the pandemic unfolded, we developed protocols, business restart of operations, and the UFC and the two sport organizations to responsibly return last spring, and they did. Obviously, they have like the UFC Island, like they have some huge fights, all right? Like a lot of like McGregor fight had huge amounts of watchers there. There's just a ton of pay-per-views. I mean, yeah, 5 billion in revenue is no joke for the entertainment industry, especially, right? And yeah, so yeah, that's that. Now, we don't know what their valuation is yet, but I mean, they could be valued anywhere from 10 billion, 5 billion to 50 billion. I mean, stuff is so overvalued these days, it's hard to say. But I mean, if it's initially looking at how much they're losing, that wouldn't make me interested. But it will be interesting to see what contributions Elon Musk has. Now, this might bring a lot of hype, right? It says they revived the IPO. Yep, but this might bring a lot of hype because Elon Musk is literally in the board of directors, which is huge. But is he truly gonna like do anything for the company? I don't really know. He's got so much on his plate already that I think he might just be on the board of directors just for the sake of it and just maybe to have a stake in the company because he likes it. Is he gonna like do any moves in the company, bring it ahead? It's hard for me to see that happening. Maybe in the future, but I don't really see that happening. I mean, he's already has literally no time. If you watch his interviews, he barely gets any sleep as it is. So yeah, I don't really know. It might just be one of those things where he's just on it for the sake of being on it and maybe to help his buddies out at the UFC. I think that's one of the other things. So that might be a big thing. Definitely consider that he's probably on the board of directors just to help out his fellow like friends at the UFC because I'm pretty sure he's really good friends with the rest of the UFC. He literally attends a lot of those fights and a lot of those events as of what I've seen as an outside viewer. So yeah, that is that. Am I buying it? Probably not. Usually I don't buy IPOs, but if you guys think Elon Musk might do something, definitely take a deeper look as they get closer. Basically it says they have IPOs for up to 100 million, but yeah, I mean, are they raising 100 million? Obviously the company's not going to be worth it's going to be worth a lot more than 100 million. So yeah, if you guys know the valuations, let me know. But yeah, from what I've seen, there's only a few articles out on this, and yeah, I couldn't really find that. But I'm sure a lot more info is going to come out as the IPO date nears. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.